hold it. Same thing happened to you?
Yeah.
As soon as I started pulling up, he was following it anyway. Good little hook set on this guy. I guess so. Little guy there. We're throwing some little white grub type baits. My wife's throwing a little fluke on the bottom, and I'm taking this little twin tail. And I'll tell you why I'm using this. I kind of just thought about it yesterday, and it's been working real good. We'll go over this bait here a little bit. Hey everybody, it's Dalton. Wife and I are out here fishing again. We were going to switch lakes, but the lake we were going to, I got a report from a buddy of mine, and he said it just sucks out there right now because they haven't got over the algae bloom yet, and the water's all green. They're not catching many fish, so we're staying out here for right now. It's starting to get into a fall pattern. My wife this morning used this little big bite bait jerk minnow. It's just a little fluke, and she put it on a little Ned head, and we did a separate video on this. It's a good way to catch them in the fall. Looks like a little bait fish on the bottom.
Oh, he did it again.
Got it?
So what I'm doing is I'm swimming mine. And they are kind of working it. Yeah, kind of working it like a swim bait a little bit. And, they're following it, and then when they're swimming a little bit faster, they attack it. They don't want it to get away from them. Pretty nice one. They're pretty thin out here right now. They need to feed up, but
the bait I want to talk about here, straighten this out. The bait I want to talk about here is it's called a Zoom split tail trailer. And I like to try things with baits. This is kind of a cool bait. I use it a lot as a trailer for my chatter baits and my spinner baits. And I kind of experiment with it. I'll show you on my spinnerbait rig here. It's become my favorite trailer. It's got that little split tail and it works really good. But yesterday I was in a garage and I was setting this up for today, and I thought, well, maybe I could try it a different way. You got one too?
yeah.
Whoa, whoa, this is a big one. Oh, this is a nice one here. He looked bigger. He fought bigger. He ain't huge, but he fought big. Oh, he's not bad though. Nice little fighter. Got a nice chunky one here. He fought bigger than he is. Maybe 1.5 pounds, but he fought better than that. Thank you, sir. Oh, there you go. Wife got one too. All we're doing is using these little white baits, mimicking these fall bait fish. So I had a little Finesse jig head already tied onto my spinning rod, and the kind of jig heads that I tend to go to as far as the Finesse ones are these flat tops. Now it's not that half moon shape or mushroom head. It's just got a flat top. This one here is made by Z-Man. It's not their typical Ned rig jig head. This one here is actually a lot more sturdy. It's got a better hook. So what I did was I put this little twin tail on there just to see what would happen. I got to be honest with you, they were biting the heck out of it, and I missed a lot of them too because they were hitting the tail. But the ones who really took it, I got some good hook sets on them. Let me kind of show you how I was using this thing. There's two ways that I used it. pipe right there. He's getting in that knife. Here, buddy. Get up. There you go. Good hook set on him. We're finding them a little chunkier back here. These guys are feeding up better than some of the other ones we were catching earlier, which were really skinny. I caught him right, but there's some kind of pipe running through here. He had me wrapped into that pipe for a second. I thought I was going to lose him, but he worked his way out. One of them is I just cast it out. I would just cast it out and kind of like you would any typical little finesse jig head on the bottom, I would just sort of drag it along. That's all I would do, just kind of drag it along. But what really started getting me some bites is when I would lift it off the bottom, I would shake it. And I would leave it off the bottom. And I would literally shake this bait all the way back to the boat. And this is how I was getting bit most of the time.
Oh, out there, huh?
He's out there, yeah. I felt him tap it. Okay. Pretty chunky little guy. Not bad at all. Nice little spot. Come here, buddy. Come here. Open up. Get over here. There you go. Little chunky spotted bass. These spotted bass, they have kind of a interesting, kind of a sandpaper type mouth. So when your thumb's all messed up by the end of the day fishing, that's a good thing. Let me show you what this bait looks like in the water. So when you're shaking it and you're bringing it back, my wife's gonna come over here and go over the top of this bait, and it's got a really cool look in the water. As you can see, when you're shaking it and bringing it back, those little split tails, you know, they're moving around, and you can literally shake this thing all the way back to the boat just like this. Really cool look, and believe me, it's gonna get bit. It's the right color. They're chasing shad right now, so it's working out real good. And that's how I put this thing together. I'm sure somebody out there has done this, but I thought about it yesterday in the garage. I thought, why not throw it on a little finesse jig head? This is an 1/8 ounce. We got it on 10-pound test fluorocarbon, and caught us some fish with this today. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you next time.